So our next speaker is the co-founder of F45, and if you've ever been to one of these high-intensity classes and wanted to blame someone in particular for having to do 20 burpees and a couple of box jumps, this is your man. Please welcome Luke to the stage.
That's a hell of an introduction. Thanks, Luke.
There we go.
Hi guys, how are we all? Good? I would just quickly have a look at these slides here so I know where I'm up to. 1 second. Jess, you're a superstar. Well done. That's an amazing story. Be great. All right. For those who don't know who I am, oops, I've gone the wrong way. For those who don't know who I am, my name's Luke Istomin. As you can see there, a quick little thing of myself. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none, no university qualifications, nothing like that. I born and bred in the Hunter Valley, small country town. Basically went to school here in Sydney. For myself, I was born with 80% hearing loss and a speech impediment as well, which as a young kid growing up gave me a fair bit of anxiety as well. So being in a room full of people, I can't quite hear clearly or understand what people are saying, became a little bit reclusive. So that was a little early set of anxiety for myself growing up. But that's all fine, I dealt with that. From there, I loved going to the gym and being physical, and that was my happy place. That made me happy, it felt good. I met like-minded people and created a little social network from there. From that, I decided to get my group fitness qualifications, became the Les Mills instructor, body pump, all that kind of stuff, and wore lots of lycra for many years, so it wasn't the best look, but I gave it a red hot go. In my family, there is a long line of mental health issues. In the female side, there are 2 females in my family. One has bipolar, schizophrenia, and the other one has a manic depressive, is heavily medicated, and has been admitted to corrective centres or health centres in the last couple of years. So myself being diagnosed with ADHD as a young kid, mild anxiety as well, just learning to cope and see what works best for myself, and the approach to health and fitness and what works in our family has given me the pathway to pursue a career in health and fitness. After school, I actually worked in the coal mines for 7 years and had that little epiphany moment where I was in the showers with 50 guys and said, what the hell am I doing here? This is no good. So I thought I'd pack my bags up and wear lots of lycra and come to Sydney and do Les Mills for a while, which is good, and also do personal training from there. And again, with that, I worked my way up over 12 years in personal training and trained a lot of people, and got my big break training a young guy called Hugh Jackman, and worked with him for the Australia and subsequent Wolverine movies. From there, I worked with a lot of boys and girls from Hollywood. Anyone who came from overseas would give me a call, and a pretty long list of people, which I'm very grateful for. From that led me to having my books completely filled up with personal training, and I suddenly had to start doing groups of people at once. I couldn't do one-to-one PT, and I was doing my groups of 3, 4, 5 people at once. From there, I met a guy, he was a banker, and we teamed up. A long story short, we teamed up and created a small group training facility, and from there, that's where the idea of the F45 was born. Purely by default, we were trained actually outdoors in a park in Randwick. We got rained out for 4 weeks in a row, so we looked for an indoor facility to have a wet weather backup, and we found this place in Paddington, and it was merely a backup, and we decided to do our indoor boot camp. So that's how the F45 was born. But the main thing is that it has been a tough couple of years for myself. And I still enjoy speaking to people about F45 and the joy that they get, because that's something that I created from the outset. But for myself, just dealing with that, it had just made me a stronger person to learn how to cope with the adversity from it all. For myself, nothing changed on my stance to the approach to health and fitness and exercise. As I mentioned, in my family, in my family, we've got a history of mental health issues. So seeing firsthand my sister, who suffers quite heavily, just getting her going for a walk per day, that's her medicine, that's all she needs. She doesn't need to go to F45 or CrossFit or dance classes, but just getting outside in the fresh air, that's the best thing for her at the moment. And a few friends who I've met as well. I was just talking to another speaker tonight who will speak next, but I've also worked with a lot of high profile people, and as we mentioned that, from my experience and observation, that from what I've seen, that people who achieve more and more success, sometimes they feel that their avenue for help can become less and less, and they feel that they don't deserve or need that help. And quite the contrary, that everyone here that I've met does need some kind of help or outlet to have, and it's very important that you don't feel that you can't talk to anyone in any capacity about any issue at all. Something I've learnt myself as well. So I regularly see a counsellor at least three times a year just to offload and talk about whatever it's going to be, and from there. So there's no shame in talking to someone about that, which is a huge thing. Which leads me to the point of obviously training. Training, as I mentioned, was my outlet. It made me feel great. I'm pretty sure we're all smart people here and we all know the research, but as we all know, your body releases those chemicals, endorphins, which reduce your pain threshold and your acceptance of pain, the happy hormones, dopamine, serotonin, all those kind of things. It's a scientific fact that when you move, you feel better in some capacity. By no means do I say that exercising will solve any mental health issues, but it certainly goes a long way into helping alleviate any pain or bad thoughts you might have in your head from there. I guess for myself, as I've mentioned, that my experiences with people who suffer from any mental health issues, is just to keep it simple. As I mentioned, my sister, for her and I, is just going for a walk maybe once a day if she can, but sometimes she can't do that. She unfortunately has not been able to work for the last 4 months due to her condition. So for her, all we do is just try to get her outside with the dog and going for a walk. And the same for anyone. It doesn't have to be anything strenuous or hard. But I would strongly recommend that if you can find a buddy or a friend, a work person, your partner, friend, lover, your neighbour, just to get a bit of accountability going with you and trying to help you do some gentle exercise, that can be a great way to start from there. In my experience, almost 18 years now in the industry of fitness and health, no one has ever regretted starting an exercise program. So no one's ever finished it and gone, you know, that's shit, I'm not going to do it. The hardest part is just starting, as we all know, and as society now, it becomes more easier for us to be engrossed into our phones or TVs or laptops. It can be that first step is the hardest part from there. So that's why I really love the group training model. Just seeing people who would come in as an individual and then train with a person and create a friendship group, a social group. And sometimes the actual training was secondary to the friendship groups. They find that little community from there, whether it be a physical aspect or whatever it's going to be, but generally swimming, walking, physical training, but ideally try and do some kind of resistance training a few times a week for your connective tissues, your bones and your mental health from there. As I mentioned, in my opinion, just investing in your own health is a big key to the happiness. So just a small bit of 10, 15 minutes a day can do wonders for your health, mental and physical. So I'm always here to help anyone as well. So my door's always open, my phone's always on for people. Wrong way, Luke, again. So the key takeaway message for myself is that it doesn't matter what you choose to do, whether you do a group training environment or if you have the motivation to do something by yourself, just be consistent with it. 5-10 minutes a day can be a great start from there, but just implement a regular exercise routine into your daily lifestyle for optimal physical and mental health from there. That's all from me. Thanks very much.